My name is Brian Pillman Jr. and you're watching Dre 41 Gaming. Now I'm a little partial to this gaming channel because 41 is my magic number. It was my number in football and it was my father's football number. So you can bet that Brian Pillman Jr. is going to be tuning in to Dre 41 Gaming only on YouTube.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Dre41, aka Mr. 4K, aka El Fuego, Spicy Dre, and welcome to another episode of the Let's Talk podcast. On this episode today, we're going to talk about that UPW showcase that came out a couple of days ago. Enough with the small talk. Like this video, subscribe, all that great stuff. Let's get to it. Alright, so we're going to start this one off out the gate. I might pause it every here and there. We'll see what happens, but you know what I'm saying, I want to just make sure that I get everything that I need to get on. Alright, so already we got the Unity going on. Okay, Unity engine, we know about that very well. Definitely a PC game coming out first. I know this is going to come out to console eventually, so you know that's a good thing. Alright, so yeah, we're starting this one off in the backstage area. Now I want to give you guys a little bit of background on this. I did watch this trailer in full, so I wanted to be able to see everything and then be able to talk about everything without having to stop it 100 times. Backstage area looks really good. Hopefully this is a backstage area that we can go around when it's a hardcore match, false count anywhere match. That would be definitely a cool thing to have. The character model looks really good, really clean. This is the style that they want to go for, the stylized version of the wrestlers, almost like the N64 games, I want to say, but definitely upgraded to a more 2023, 2024 kind of look. Arena looks good, entranceway, very simplistic, reminds me of the old school WWF entrance. It definitely works for this game. The arena looks packed, the fans in the arena look really good. The idle animation in the ring from the character looks good. And now we have Dala making his way to the ring. And hopefully the entrances don't zoom in like that and aren't like 3 seconds. Hopefully they're a little bit longer. We don't want to fight forever kind of deal going on. Now, this is pre-alpha as it shows on the screen. I'm very, very interested in how this plays. It does look like it plays like the Aki games. I just want to know how they're going to map the controllers to reflect this. Because I think the one thing that we don't think about is how Fight Forever tried to like copy the Aki game and how the controls is. And I don't know if they won with it. I don't know if they won with it. It's a good try, but it's gonna take some getting used to utilizing a PlayStation or Xbox controller, trying to play this when us growing up, us old people growing up as kids, use the N64 controller, which if you never use the N64 controller, it's a weird controller to use, but Nintendo's, that's what they've been known for, weird controllers. I don't get it. But the gameplay looks smooth. Like I said, this is pre-alpha, so they're probably going to sharpen it up more as far as the animations go, but you can definitely tell that they got influence from the Aki games in here. I mean, this is something that they stated before, so you can definitely see that when watching this gameplay. It does look a little slow. I would like it to be sped up probably a little bit more. If you haven't played the Aki games in the past, they aren't the quickest games. They are not super fast. I want to say just give it maybe a 2% speed increase. Like a 2% speed increase, I think you'll be good money, because it doesn't look like there's heavy impact on the moves. It looks like they're lightly getting tossed down. I mean, that DDT was really good. But a good portion of like the slams don't look impactful. And I would like to see that fixed, updated, whatever the case is. I want to see more impact to the moves. Yes, that's how Aki games were in the past, but I definitely would like to see more impact with the moves. Something like that. Maybe, like I said, speed it up a bit If you can't reanimate everything, just speed it up. I don't think that should be too much of a problem. Now, with some of these characters, here's the issue that I have. Because of the DLC that they have, I feel like it kind of alienates the original characters in the game. The reason why I say this is because they have a heavily fantasy look to them. And then when you utilize the DLC, which are real characters, real wrestlers, it kind of separates the roster. And I feel like with some of the more fantasy side wrestlers, I feel like maybe they should be toned down a bit to match the DLC characters, possibly. That's just my little nitpick. And you know what I'm saying? If anything, like Fireheart is a perfect original wrestler. Perfect. You know what I'm saying? Not crazy fantasy, but definitely stands out. Like Sir Oliver Buckingham. Definitely a good character, solid character. You can tell the influence, just like with Blue Collar Bill Dollar. He's definitely a magnum. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you can tell with like some of the characters, they have a more realistic look to them as opposed to the other characters that more fantasy based. Now, change your size should be switched to where you can choose the individual body part that you want to resize. I don't feel like the full body resize is a good idea, because if you're trying to make a bigger character like Samoa Joe, who's not Yokozuna big, you won't be able to make it work. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we should individualize the sizing to arms, chest, abdomen, waist, groin area, and legs. I feel like that would be a better fit as opposed to just making the whole call bigger. And I just don't think that's a good look. I feel like you should be able to choose which body part you want to resize. Now, they do got Matt Cardona on the wrestling code. We do have Matt Cardona as well. Super cool to see Matt Cardona in 2 different wrestling games. Who would have thought that would have ever happened? But yeah, it's definitely cool to see him in this game, especially them already showing off the in-game model. Definitely cool to see that. They do their thing, and I like their stylized version. I think it definitely helps with it being a spiritual successor to the Aki games. Very cool to see Chris Candido in this game as well. I remember playing the ECW games. I had to create him because he wasn't in the game. I also had to do it in the WWE games back in the day when I did my ECW roster. So it's cool to see some of these ECW legends in or back in the Aki game, because Blue Meanie was in I want to say WrestleMania 2000? I want to say he was in WrestleMania 2000. I'm pretty sure he was. We got some old school wrestlers in here. I wasn't alive when they were wrestling in their height, so, you know, it is what it is. Arn Anderson, Glock Anderson in the building. Okay, like to see that. And we got Nova. Not sure if they were able to get the rights to Supernova or Hollywood Nova, but Nova's cool nonetheless. They got Francine in the building. Very cool to see. I wonder what her moveset's going to be and her attires. We got Louis Spicolli, the real innovator. Didn't really have a long career in wrestling, but still cool to see him in the game. Heavy ECW, WCW influence as far as DLC goes. You can definitely see what era they were fans of with the DLC. You could tell that it was mid 80s to late 90s as far as DLC goes. Maybe even early 2000s. But yeah, you could definitely see that it's a heavy attitude era, maybe golden era of wrestling. Like even with Crowbar, that's late WCW. Cool to see that era Crowbar in the game. We got Buff Bagwell. Hopefully they bang out the attire, make it look really, just make it stand out for Buff Bagwell. Then Bull Nakano, which is a great get for them to have, especially with the women's roster. Definitely cool. Glacier, another WCW alumni, did his thing in WCW. Great to see him in the game. Brother Devon, you got to get Bubba Ray eventually. I mean, you would think, right? I mean, come on. You can't have Devon without Bubba Ray. Come on. Warhorse, he was already in a wrestling game a couple of years back. Good to see him in this one. Sandman, both Ultra Pro Wrestling And the wrestling code has Sandman. That's cool to see. This one I'm spicy about. Hold on, we're gonna pause. This one I'm spicy about. Hayabusa. I am so spicy about them getting Hayabusa. I wish we was able to get Hayabusa. You never know. We might be able to. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But definitely cool for them to get Hayabusa. Hayabusa is like I want to say, sort of like a unicorn when it comes to wrestling games, because there's not many that he's in. I believe this is like the second wrestling game he's in, the first one being Wrestle Kingdom. And I would love for them to have the tattoo on his chest. I would love for them to have that Hayabusa. I feel like with this drawing representing what's going to be in game, I feel like we're not going to get that. But it's fine. It's still Hayabusa. One little nitpick, because I'm a super fan of Hayabusa, are his boots. They're not wrapped up. They have the two toes like the turtle. Like there's certain like Japanese boots, I forget what they're called, but it has like the two toe, like the one part for the big toe and the rest of them is for the other toes. So that's something that I feel like they can update, because it's not wrapped. His feet weren't wrapped. They were actual wrestling boots, but they're two-toed wrestling boots. So that's something that they could definitely update with the Hayabusa model. Let's continue on with it, because like I said, I was being a little bit picky, so it is what it is. But, yeah, so overall they got a good roster with a lot of legends in there, and I definitely like that. I'm getting the game, point blank. But what are you guys excited about in regards to the game itself? Are you guys liking the DLC that they have? What matches would you like to see? The interface. Have you played the Aki games in the past? Let me know in the comment section below. Are you going to cop this game? That's definitely important. Like I said, overall, I'm loving what I see. I'm loving what I see. The DLC is amazing. A lot of old school. It's not going past like 2001 with the DLC. Not going, well, except with Warhorse. But let me know in the comment section what you guys like about this game. Are y'all copping it? Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Other than that, y'all stay safe. Catch y'all in the next video. Later.